Bungalow Bill here, and welcome back to From the Depths. I'm recording this intro about a week in the future from when I recorded the video, which I recorded at the same time as episode 9. That means, of course, I'm taping over myself here, so whatever it was I'm saying, you won't be hearing any of. I'm sure it wasn't terribly important. Past Bungalow Bill was a total idiot, and nothing he said was interesting at all. In contrast, current Bungalow Bill is a genius, and everything that I'm saying is of the utmost importance. All in all, this is going to be the last episode of the adventure mode. I wavered a bit back and forth on it during this episode, and in truth, I don't think I had as much fun as I normally do playing From the Depths with adventure mode. Perhaps the fleet approach was not the fun one for me. Maybe sometime in the future, if I upgrade my computer, I'll try just making some mega Doomcraft. But for now, I think I'll go on to other things. There's a lot of other stuff that I want to do in From the Depths at the moment, and really, I don't look forward to doing another video of adventure mode. With all that out of the way, let's cut back into whatever it was I was saying.
Moving now. Receiving. You're in control. Moving now. Moving now. Receiving. Moving now.
Yeah, it would be really nice for me to be able to just turn off the Tycho's jets. The fact that she's been so unruly has made this very difficult and really stopped me from doing any repairs.
Receiving. Receiving. Taking command. Receiving. Taking command.
So we're going to have not a lot of firepower.
Moving out. Receiving. You're in control. Moving now. Receiving. Moving now.
I don't think she can fly anyway, so I'm just turning her engines off. The Kitty Hawks have no defense against the Sovereign, and I have effectively no active weapons here. Kitty Hawks might be better off if they actually just retreated back, although the Sovereign is taking sailfish damage. There's actually
Receiving. Moving now.
a fair bit of repairs the submarine can do.
Listening. Control yours. Moving out.
Haven't dealt much damage to the Sovereign, though. We just don't have a lot of weapons online. I wasn't able to repair them very well from the last fight. As long as she doesn't defend against these very well, and we can get a reasonable hit against her APS firepower, we might have a chance. That's really not where I want to hit her, though. I want hits to the APS caps. I do see some APS components falling out already, and she is down to 578 firepower, so it's looking like we're being given a chance here. Oh man, those were really close to being good hits. We still got some hits to the turret caps. Not quite what I was hoping for. Those EMP strikes were more along the lines of what I was looking for. She's getting a little twitchy, not firing very fast anymore. Even if she has 530 firepower, I'm not sure she's using it. Looks like she has at least one APS cannon online, though. Tycho is basically just going to be tanking a lot of kinetic rounds, though, for really pretty much nothing.
Receiving. Moving now. Receiving. Moving now. Listening. Moving out.
It's very dark, so I have no idea what's happening. Although, still getting decent APS flashes. Kitty Hawk's doing more than nothing, I think. Their lack of speed is really getting to me, though. Still, peppering a target with this kind of hesh is usually pretty good at disabling it. Down to 462 firepower. That's really not enough, though. I'd like a much better hit to that APS cannon. However, I'm starting to find it unlikely because I don't really have any of the necessary firepower going right now because I've never been able to collect my fleet and get them all repaired. That was a good hit to the turret cap, though. Looks like we may have put an end to her. The Sovereign is basically just a gun with a ship wrapped around it. Finally have some of my repairs starting, so hopefully after this I'll be able to collect the fleet properly. The Kitty Hawks aren't going to be able to shoot at this angle. They've actually gotten too close.
Listening. Form up and fly with fleet. Moving out. Listening. Form up and fly with fleet.
Oh boy, there's never a dull moment. The Briar. Okay, that's not that scary.
Listening.
It is big though, and that on its own.
Moving out.
Please, I don't need that pop-up. I need to be able to see where I'm putting this.
Moving out.
That on its own is definitely an issue.
Listening. Listening. Form up and fly with fleet. Moving out. Listening. Form up and fly with fleet. Moving out.
Hopefully the Briar is not shooting at us right now, even though I would kind of expect it to. It in fact is not. Looks like we're trying to intercept its missiles, which are heading for the Sovereign. No real way to tell our craft that. Missile interceptor courses are really bad. I definitely need to crank up the APN guidance on them a little bit.
Receiving. Returning to formation.
Okay, I need to babysit these guys a little bit because I cannot get them doing exactly the right thing.
Receiving. Moving now.
I've probably been repairing away quite a bit here, but it's really difficult to get enough going on.
Listening.
Have to start putting these together in something that constitutes a fleet so that they won't collide too much, because that undoes so much of my work.
Moving out.
But hopefully tight enough to get a reasonable net of repairs going right now.
Moving out. Moving out. Listening. Moving out. Listening. Form up and fly with fleet. Moving out. Listening. Moving out.
Okay, the Sovereign still appears to be doing our work for us. One of the good things to not having a mega ship is that if you spawn in really big craft from multiple different factions, they will do some of your work for you. After repairs are complete, we'll be sitting a little bit lower in resources than I would like. The last I checked, we had a lot of resources. Had 1.3 million just among the craft that were near my flagship. I didn't look... Can't give orders.
Receiving.
Don't tell me what I can't do.
Moving now.
Actually, the Briar's probably really unhappy about this. Still got quite a lot of firepower left. I was hoping... I'm pretty sure these are remote guided. That's what I remembered at least. I thought they were going against the wrong target for a while, which is sort of a radar guided thing, but I really think they're remote guided. Hopefully the Sovereign's going down, although if she lasted longer and fought against the Briar a little bit more, that would be really nice. Yeah, those are way too easy to take out because they're clustered too close, and the damage radius of small interceptors is incredible.
Receiving. Moving now.
Okay, of course I'm undoing all of my work. Please take this as a signal to back up. I know you are capable of such a thing. Just the Briar and the Sovereign, probably. Yeah, that lag was probably the Sovereign beginning to despawn.
Receiving. Moving now.
Tried to pull my fleet back together a little bit, but these are going to have to do some work to the Briar, take its guns down a little bit.
Listening.
These aren't all being that helpful for repairs because it's hard to get them all close enough together, so
Listening.
let's send a few of those off.
Moving out. Listening.
Okay, where did I put my submarine?
Receiving. Returning to formation. Moving now.
So far it's looking like, unless I make a dedicated repair craft, I am not getting these repairs done. So this is just how it's going to be, I guess. Probably good enough for now.
Listening.
Okay, can I get this thing going
Up
again?
and fly with fleet.
It's really nice for repairs when I'm able to get it reasonably well positioned. Is this thing... It's moving a little bit. It's enough to be dangerous, but not enough to actually
Now.
function, unfortunately. So we're not close enough to fire, it looks like.
Listening. Taking control.
Picking away very, very slowly at the Briar, given the
Receiving.
incredible lack of firepower that I have at my disposal.
Listening.
There are EMP surges going off, so that's a really good sign. Down to 90%, so must be moderately successful hits from the Sailfish going in because they're really the only thing happening at the moment other than the Kitty Hawks.
Listening. Moving out. Listening. Moving out.
Okay, now I should be getting some decent repair speed going on the Tycho. Hopefully get that put back together. Man, this is expensive though, and I have no weapons. Oh, and, you know, if I blow up the Kitty Hawks by flying them a little bit too close,
Moving out. Listening.
that should be good enough. We're in large missile range from our flagship, though. She's functioning again.
Receiving. Moving now.
Can't really see how the repairs are going when it's like that.
Listening.
She's not able to fly, so she's just going to crash, which is something I should have realized earlier. Don't think there are any jets going on the side. Oh no, those jets are actually functioning. She is able to turn away from the flagship, enough to not just completely destroy her.
Listening. Moving out. Control.
Actually switch her back.
Moving out. Receiving. Moving now.
Unfortunately, she takes a while to build. Briar, on the other hand, should be largely out of ability to do meaningful damage. She is still firing a moderate amount of missiles. I'm expecting this damage to the turret caps would make them not really that functional. And she's indeed not that functional. That turret just got decapitated. That one hosts no real components in it. Okay, so we've basically got there.
Listening.
We can start bringing some of these back. Would have been nice if they detached a little bit better than that.
Listening. Form up and fly with fleet.
Receiving. Returning to formation.
Alright, it looks like we're pulling through. This was a close one though, and required a lot of repairs. And I have to go rescue this Kitty Hawk too. If she has repair bots left, she'll eventually rejoin the fleet. Actually, it looks like a few of the other ones took missile fire. This one, yeah, that was a dangerous position to be in. Well, we'll bring her back too.
Form up and fly with fleet.
Okay, Tycho's going to be floating again. Whole fleet's going to be operating again soon. Definitely down a lot of materials though, that was really expensive. Definitely need to not spawn two very large godlies on the same side at the same time. That's not good for our health. Well, this is a not good thing. There's another blip on the horizon, the Black Current, and my fleet is only just beginning to collect. They are doing interesting things when it comes to actually listening to me as far as where to go, especially because they keep rotating. I keep telling them to go forwards with relation to the flagship, and they keep not doing that.
Listening.
Yeah, that vector turned 90 degrees. The exact opposite of what I wanted. I would like to keep my missile defenses fairly clumped up at the moment.
Moving now.
There's definitely a bug
Listening.
somewhere when it comes to how fleet formations stay around. Okay, I really have no idea what that was. Hopefully we're able to do... Okay, the Black Current just can't shoot this far. That's something at least. Or, well, maybe it can. Well, anyway, as long as I keep my fleet moderately together, I think we're reasonably well defended.
Listening. Listening. Moving out. Moving out.
That's unfortunate for this Kitty Hawk.
Moving out.
Obviously not the target, but
Moving out.
is in fact what got hit. Alright, it looks like my missile defenses are just not getting there right now. And likely not all firing as they needed to, because some of them are probably offline at the moment. See how the Black Current is doing, but probably pretty well. 96%. I doubt it's really going to be taking much in terms of torpedoes. That was some pretty good damage, though. Kitty Hawks must not have a good angle on it. They should be pretty effective.
Listening. Taking control. Listening. Taking control.
The 5 kilometer spawn distance for the Black Current is a pretty good one for it, even if it didn't work out the best in this fight. Definitely not getting... There we go, this is what I was looking for. This is how we beat the Black Current. Some more overwhelming missile defenses would have been pretty good, but the Black Current probably does not have another good missile barrage left in it. Unfortunately, took a fair bit of expense worth of damage again. I do think we probably just have never been able to repair the missile defenses on the Tycho, and that's really causing us a lot of issues.
Listening. Moving out.
Alright, Black Current, probably pretty much toast. Let's despawner before I do
Form up and fly with fleet.
too much damage. Yeah, there's a little bit to be desired here around
Moving out. Listening.
how these disentangle from each other.
Moving out. Listening. Moving out.
Or, I mean, how these rejoin the fleet afterwards as well, but
Moving out.
even when the entire fleet stays together, there are some issues where the boats just slowly rotate. I don't know what the bugs are exactly, but there definitely are some. Yeah, this is definitely slowly starting to spiral out of control because the Sovereign has just spawned in. And this was seconds ago. Or seconds after. I basically haven't had any time to do anything. So these craft are really not going to enjoy this very much.
Listening. Taking control.
I do not have much firepower back at this point.
Receiving. Moving now. Receiving. Taking command. Receiving. Taking command. Receiving.
Should I put that one on auto? It's just going to crash into the adventure raft.
Listening. Listening. Taking control. Listening. Taking
Tycho's
control.
having trouble staying in position now because its jets just got turned back up to maximum.
Receiving. Returning to formation now. Receiving. You're in control. Moving now. Receiving. You're in control.
These both
Moving
chose
now.
the exact worst thing to do they possibly could have. I probably should have sent these in a tighter group because they're just going to get destroyed before they actually do anything.
Receiving. You're in control. Moving now. Receiving. Returning to
Nope,
formation.
wrong button.
Command.
Yeah, this is probably the end of the adventure mode. I just don't have any operating weapons at the moment. Tycho's armor hadn't quite come back online. Sovereign's not a very scary ship really, but I just don't have anything to fight her with at the moment. Everything was basically sent at exactly the same time.
Listening.
My ships were being incredibly uncooperative about their movements. If I was able to get them together a little bit more after the first battle and get them repaired up, I don't think this whole chain of events would have happened. And I definitely did this without the sort of overwhelming firepower that's necessary. If you just get battle after battle after battle like this, you need to be able to eliminate enemies almost instantly. You need absolutely massive, overwhelming firepower. So with this fleet that's really worth about 2 million, maybe a little less because of the RTGs, I was actually fighting at a resource disadvantage in some cases, and that's just not going to get me there.
Listening.
Receiving.
Doing a lot of repair spam to kind of
Moving out.
become at least somewhat functional, but
Moving now.
Listening.
it only does so much. And it's really expensive to just repair spam when we're not really returning fire. And we've got a few shells coming back, but it's just not good enough. Probably make it through a few more fights, but this is basically the end. I'm burning materials faster than I'm getting them back because I'm going through these battles at very low percent firepower to begin with. Sovereign especially I benefit probably just from having a massive particle cannon, because given how concentrated her single weapon system is, just hitting her with a really big pack will kind of end the fight pretty much instantly. Well, that's pretty much her weapon system.
Listening.
You're not doing very
Form up
much.
And fly with fleas. Form up and fly with fleas.
Man, the Tycho is really trying to destroy everything right now, I think. Her ability to stay above the flagship is
Listening.
probably not doing so well.
Moving out. Listening. Moving out.
Receiving. Moving now.
Listening.
No, actually, she's doing okay. We might be surviving. Oh, man. Well, not really much to do about that. And AI dead. You know, if I could capture her, that would be absolutely fantastic. Really get me back into this. Okay, I was actually given like 2 minutes before anything spawned in to start to get some stuff repaired, so I have about 1,000,000 materials left, a little bit more, which is under the 1.3 that I peaked at, but was pretty good given how many Kitty Hawks I clobbered in that period of time, because the Tycho just kept taking them out one after the other. And I was having severe issues because my fleet's waypoints have just been, even though everything's been in fleet formation, they've just been drifting all over the place, and if I'm not paying a lot of attention, it's just crashing everything into everything else. It's really broken. Hopefully it'll be at least made a little bit better with the save and load, but there are definitely some issues to work out. I've been trying to rescue some of the ones that I've mauled with the Tycho. Fortunately, it means we're actually in somewhat of a decent position to fight the parallax that has come in.
Moving now.
Listening. Taking control.
Without, I would imagine, taking a phenomenal amount of damage.
Receiving. Moving now. Receiving. Moving now.
Okay, unless something really bad happens. Right now they're still repairing, but I imagine that was a particle cannon shot. That wasn't that much damage anyway. Still repairing for now, but they'll probably separate. Or must have been a barrage of frag missiles. Oh, okay, yeah, those are... No, these are kinetic missiles. We probably cannot do a whole lot about that. Kinetic missiles are basically uncounterable. If they can hit you, they're going to do a lot of damage to you. They're not rendering right now, but they're going to do a pretty good amount of damage. Now, either changed targets or something happened. Okay, only one of them's kinetic. Okay, so one's a lot of frag with a little bit of HE. other one's kinetic. Kinetic missiles aren't very effective in terms of, even if you get them going, oh man. Well, that was fortunate. Even if you get them going at a really high speed, compared to other missiles at least, they're still okay. But because of their massive amounts of health, they're pretty hard to counter effectively, so they're just pretty all-around reliable. And if, like, the Parallax, you fire the reinforced body one first, it can cover up your high payload missiles so that they actually get through. And anyway, I've been in difficulty 100 for an hour and 22 minutes. I'm definitely going to cut it off here for this episode. I don't know how much more adventure mode I'm going to keep playing. At some point I was trying to save up enough money to spawn something in really big. Maybe I'll keep trying to do that. Maybe I'll just destroy one of these and spawn in a massive battleship or something. But for the moment, I might be done. I'll have to think one way or the other, but maybe this series will have another episode, maybe it won't. I'm not really sure. In any case, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you in the future.